Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Same thing again. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, that was pretty good. It was supposed to be not so nice out today. It's beautiful outside, a gorgeous spring day to wonderfully reflect the feeling of warmth and connection and beauty that we feel within here. You don't have to do anything yet, don't worry. She's like, ready. For on this Shabbat, Morgan becomes a Bat Mitzvah, a daughter of the commandments, and all of you will share in and witness this rite of passage for her family, and for our community. Throughout the history of human civilization, people have understood this important point in a young person's life in various ways, this point between childhood and adulthood. Oftentimes, it transcended mere biology, what was going on in the bodies of young people. For women, it was pretty obvious when they became of childbearing age, that was a key marker, but men felt very left out. So they devised these other means of marking this moment of transition, the first battle, the first hunt, some kind of rite of initiation. But we Jews understood this key moment in a young person's life as something that far transcended just the physical. For Jews, coming of age meant demonstrating a spiritual awareness, a moral enlightenment and maturity, symbolized by leading the congregation in worship and basically revealing to the community that this young person is now a responsible adult within the community who can be looked to help benefit and bless the community. And that is indeed what we are celebrating here today. We begin our service with a special introductory reading.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Our service begins on page 28. Please rise.
page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bivaro maraviv aravim b'chochma b'tzeh asher emim uvivuna shnei itim umechalif et chazmanim umsedeh hekol chavim bermishotehem berkia kirtzana B'rei yom v'layla go el or mibnei v'vechoshem or Umavir yom, umavi laila, umavdil bein yom, uvein laila, Adonai siva ochamo, ehai v'kayam, tamid yimlach aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hamariv arvim. Our service continues on page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than the holiest of your works in the living language that gives it form?
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Please be seated. V'achata es Adonai Elohecha b'chol levecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohim mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shitecha v'v'techa u'v'v'techa v'aderech u'shachbecha u'gmecha u'shartam le'yod al yedecha v'chayu l'tadafo b'neinecha u'tamazam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'sharecha l'man tizkeru l'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kedoshim Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzitem me'eretz Mitzrayim. Le'ot lahem le'elchim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Please join me in the English on page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the works of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you could be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. We continue on page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We continue on page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us enemies in illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life, to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, va'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim.
Our service continues on page 46. Please rise.
Take your book and face the art.
Adonai sefatai tifta ufi agite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol Atarav Lehoshia, Morid Hatah, Mechokeh Hayim Bechesed, Mechayeh Hakol Berachamim Ravim, Somech Nofli V'Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayeh Amilato, Lishanei Afar, Michamel Chabal Givero, Umidom Elah, Melamimi, Umachayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah Le'olel Hakol, Baruch atah Adonai,
מחיי הכל.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We continue on page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise.
ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
We continue on page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people, Israel, be worthy in your deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land in Zion, restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence.
ברוך אתה אדוני שאותך לבדך ביראה נעבוד.
We continue on page 59. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth.
ברוך אתה אדוני הטוב שמך ובך נאה להודות. On page 60, a song of shalom, of peace, wholeness, reconciliation, accord, and the unity between God's vision for this world and our ability to bring it about. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon Lecho hashalom, ki atahu melech Adon. Lecho hashalom, shalom rav Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom rav Tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Avodah Shebalev, the private reflection of personal worship which can only come from your hearts in your inner voice. words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Yehi leratson imrefi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Ve'goali. Most of us are aware of God's top 10 behind me, the 10 Commandments. But if we dig a little deeper as Jews, we come to the realization that, of course, those aren't the only commandments. They may be some of the most important, but our tradition has extracted 613 commandments from the Torah, positive and negative. Now, most of these, not most of them, a good chunk of them have to do with the practice in the temple that hasn't existed for 2,000 years. But the final commandment is perhaps the one that is deceptively simple, but really very challenging. That commandment is that each Jew should write for him or herself their own Sefer Torah, their own Torah scroll. Now, if you've ever seen a Torah scroll, you know that this is not an easy task. It's something that requires the hand of an artisan and the patience of the most OCD-obsessed CPA. So what could our tradition possibly be asking us? That each one of us should write a Torah scroll? That seems impossible. But what it truly perhaps is asking us to do is inscribe the Torah on our hearts, our minds, and our consciences, to use it as a prism through which we see and act and believe in the world. And that is indeed what we are doing here today. We are celebrating the inscribed Torah on Morgan's heart and conscience and soul, the prism through which she will look at her life in the world and her relationship with others, God willing, for many years to come. And it's that is in particular a focus as we reach the Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of the Torah, page 244. Would you all please rise?
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai v'ein kamasecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitain Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
The Torah is the precious heritage of the people of Israel. It is the epic story of our people's past, our guide for daily living, our hope and faith in the future. The Torah was carried in the arms of grandparents and parents out of burning synagogues and villages so that children might not lose this precious birthright. The Torah was passed from grandparent to child, from generation to generation to generation, as we do this day.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, ki mitzion teitzei Torah, u'devar Adonai miYerushalayim, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. התפארת והנצח וההוד. כי כה בשמיים ובארץ, כי כה בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני הממלכה והמתנשא לכל ראש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו.
This week's Torah portion, Amor, contains a number of different elements, but perhaps central to this portion is a reiteration of something we've seen previously in the Torah. That is a list of some of the key holidays, the ones decreed by God's creative design of the world, the Sabbath. The seventh day happens no matter what. Holidays that the Torah initiated, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, the pilgrimage festivals. And we see in this reiteration a confirmation of the role of holidays in our lives. I don't want to steal any of Morgan's thunder. She's going to talk about this, but these holidays are not just a time for Jews to get together and try out new recipes on each other, although food is not unimportant, but rather it's a way to link us to Jews all over the world in our own time, and Jews throughout the millennia, and God willing, for many years to come in the future. Morgan will be reading from selections from this portion, preceded and succeeded by aliyot, by the blessings before and after the reading of the Torah, for the honor of the first aliyah, grandparents Susan and Erwin Pearl, and Aunt Diana, Uncle Scott Green, and cousin Alexa Green. Yamdu Sarah Makabat Moshe, Yisrael ben Mer Aryeh, Tzipora bat Sarah Malka, Mordechai ben Baruch, Shoshana Batima bat Tzipora, La Torah. Who's over here? One, two, three. Baruch et Adonai Havorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam
Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, Daber el bnei Yisrael v'yamarta lahem b'dei Adonai asher tikru atam mikrayei kadosh elechem b'ordai.
Blessing after, please. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam notam b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Kisses and hugs, kisses and hugs. Come over here to the side when you're done, please.
Me too, me too, me too. Thank you, thank you.
the honor of the next Aliyah, grandparents Marika and William Weiss and Uncle Andrew Weiss. Yamdu Miriam Bat Yosef, Vechaim Zev ben Natan, Natan ben Chaim Zev, La Torah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baruch. Oh, you want to do this, please? You want to do? Please, I didn't see. Thank you. Please.
Baruch et Adonai havorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai havorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et toratav. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Shesha Amim Teisei Melcha Uviyom Hashvi Shabbat Shabbaton Mikra Kodesh Kol Melcha Lo Ta'azu Shabachi Ladonai B'chol Mishotehem Elah Mikra Kodesh Asher Tikaru Atam B'mo Adam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei aleinu nata b'secheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shkoch. Thank you. For the honor of the third Aliyah, Mom, Dad, and brother, Robin, Peter, and Justin Weiss, Yamdu, Rezo Bat Sara Malka, Moshe Menachem ben Chaim Wolf, Yosef Moshe ben Moshe Menachem, La Torah.
Baruch Adonai havorach.
Elam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai havorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
B'chodesh harishon b'arba'ah asar l'chodesh bein charbaim Pesach l'Adonai u'misha asar l'chodesh hazin hakam azot l'Adonai shavot yamim matzot tochelu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Give her some love. Give her some love. And last but not least, the emerging woman of the hour herself, right? Morgan Weiss. Ta'amod Mayim Bat Rezel Umoshe Menachem Habat Mitzvah La Torah.
Baruch hu Adonai havorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vahed.
Baruch atah Adonai
Rach
haolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
We didn't get confused here.
Bayom harishon mikra kodesh ihyeh lachem kol melechei avodah lo tazu v'kikraftem ihyeh l'Adonai shavot yamim bayom hashvi mikra kodesh kol melechei avodah lo ta'asu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayol nata betocheinu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. All right, step back a little bit. We were honored to have cousin Sydney Green help us to undress the Torah. I'd like to invite her up to help us dress the Torah. If the rest of us could please rise. Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe mifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. The Haftarah portion for this Shabbat and for this Torah portion comes from the prophet Ezekiel, and the connection has to do with a description of the priestly garb and priestly responsibilities. Most of the book of Leviticus is focused on the temple sacrificial cult and the role of the priests. The prophet Ezekiel, in helping the exiled Jewish people to have a concrete sense of hope in their return to the land and the recreation of the temple, describes in detail the previous experience of the temple and the iconic visual of the priests offering the sacrifices.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar b'vim tovim v'retzah b'divrechem hanemerim ba'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher haTorah u'moshe avdo Israel amo v'nvecha emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
V'hayata lachem l'anolah ani nachuzatam v'yachuzah lo titnu lachem b'Yisrael ani nachuzatam haminha v'chayatat v'chasham hema yohum v'cherem b'Yisrael lachem yihyeh b'reshit kol bikre kol v'chotuma mikol tumrutehem lakanim yihyeh b'reshit arsutehem titnu lachem l'anolah b'racha el b'neiteha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sor kol halamim tzaddik b'chol hadorot ha'el haneman ha'omer ve'yoseh hamdaber umkayem shekol devorav emet v'tzedek
Al HaTorah ve'al Avodah ve'al HaNivim ve'al Yom HaShabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod u'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'mevarchim otah yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for being here with me to celebrate my Bat Mitzvah. This week's Torah portion, Parshat Emor, talks about something I always look forward to, the holidays. In Parshat Emor, God tells us that there are two things we should do. First, God tells us to celebrate holidays as a way of remembering important moments in our history and the important ideas behind those moments. Second, God wants us to wants us to celebrate holidays as a way of connecting with the past, present, and future. This is a perfect Torah portion for me. Celebrating is one of my favorite things. Some of my favorite Jewish holidays are Hanukkah, Passover, and Shabbat. Hanukkah, also known as the Festival of Lights, celebrates the victory of a small group of Jews called the Maccabees over the large Greek army. They recaptured the temple in Jerusalem and gained the freedom to be Jewish. Passover, which we just celebrated, commemorates the exodus out of Egypt and their transition from slavery to freedom. And last but definitely not least is Shabbat, which is a day of rest and is coming to an end right now as I give this speech. All of these holidays have something very important in common. And no, it's not just the fact that we eat a lot during these times. The holidays represent our Jewish tradition, our connection with our past ancestors, and an opportunity to connect with our families and pass these traditions to the next generation. On Hanukkah, we light the Hanukkah, eat latkes, traditions that remind us of the miracle of lights. Usually we're on vacation during Hanukkah, and my mom brings along Hanukkah decorations, and we light the menorah, wherever in the world we may be. Passover is always a great celebration. Our family always has a special meal, a Seder, to remind us of the story of Passover. And of course, there is matzah, lots and lots of matzah. During the summer, I attend BB Camp, a Jewish sleepaway camp on the Oregon coast. Shabbat is always a special time at BB Camp. It is different than every other day. We always dress up on Friday evenings for Shabbat. There is a hugline services, dinner, and song sessions. It is always a big party and a lot of fun. While I won't be able to celebrate Shabbat at BB Camp forever, I can make Shabbat just as fun at home, both now and when I'm an adult. On most Jewish holidays, there is a kugel on the table or baking in the oven. My grandma made her kugel recipe in Los Angeles, and my mom carries the tradition on here in Seattle. Every time there is a holiday, everyone asks my mom to make the kugel. Ever since I was young, I always ask my mom if I can crack the eggs and help mix the ingredients to make the kugel. I know I will carry on this tradition when I have my own family. Someday I will be known for the kugel. Not only do I plan to keep the kugel tradition for all the holidays, but I also plan to continue to celebrate Shabbat the same ways that my parents celebrate. We usually get together with friends and family on Friday nights. We light the candles, eat challah, and enjoy each other's company as my parents and their friends drink wine. The best thing about Shabbat is that it takes place not just once a year, but every week. This incredible moment would not be possible without the help of a lot of people. First, thank you for all being here. Many of you traveled very far to be here today, and I thank you for taking time out of your busy lives to spend this day with me. As I look out, I see all my favorite people in the world. I'm so thankful that all four of my grandparents, Grandma, Grandpa, Mama, and Papa, are here with me today watching me read from the Torah. I am also lucky to have my Uncle Andrew, Auntie Diana, Uncle Scotty, and my cousins Alexa and Cindy here with me today. I also would like to thank Rabbi Wiener for being here today, but more importantly, for taking time to help me better understand my Torah portion and the meaning of a Bat Mitzvah. I would also like to thank Rabbi Shulman and Rabbi Meyer for meeting with me weekly to study. This service is also so beautiful with the lovely voice of Hava. To my brother Justin, you are the luckiest kid ever. You have the best sister in the world. To my mom and dad, thank you for this day. I know sometimes it was hard to get me to study for my Bat Mitzvah, but it was all worth it. And I'm really looking forward to the party tonight. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim.
Amen. All right, some of you got some candy. Let's have it. Come on. At her, not at me. Yeah, this sanctuary makes it a little challenging, I know. Oh, wow, okay, all right. Rob and Peter, if you'll come on up here, please. Morgan, if you'll face me. Look at that.
individually wrapped gummy bear tribes. Wow, that's cool. Morgan, let me be the first to wish you a Yasher Koach and Mazel Tov on leading us so beautifully and so capably here today. As your mom and I were joking, 6 months ago when we started this process, and even about 2 months ago when we met to talk about your Torah portion, I barely knew what your voice sounded like. You were kind of quiet and kind of shy, and I would tell people, my other staff that I was working with, you know, Morgan, this wonderful young woman, I'm looking forward to officiating and being a part of her experience, but sometimes she's so shy. And they looked at me like I was crazy because everybody else knew and sees you in real life. And really, just within the last 2 weeks, I've seen you with your wonderful spirit, your wonderful energy and excitement, your sense of humor. It is infectious for all those who are around you, and I am so glad I got to see the real you leading up to this point. I also was very impressed at the end of our final rehearsal. We talked a little bit about things that you learned about yourself from this experience, and I know you had this experience with cheer with which you are incredibly immersed and something you dedicate yourself to quite a bit. But this also was a very adult process that required long-term commitment and not necessarily getting the payoff right away, but perhaps way down the road. And your patience and your perseverance really paid off. And I hope, in addition to cheer and your bat mitzvah, this will remind you of what you're capable of. Any challenge, any incredibly distant goal, if you put your mind and heart to it, it's something you can achieve. When I thought about a special message I would share with you, I could not help but think about the perfect metaphor for something that is a big part of your life, cheer. And I'm sure many of you know this, and it's amazing to me that on a cheer squad, there are a number of different people, but Morgan is a flyer. And a flyer is exactly what it sounds like. It's the person who's thrown up in the air 30 feet or whatever and does flips and all sorts of incredible things. I have to look on YouTube. I hope there's a YouTube video of you doing that somewhere because I totally want to see it. But I thought you as the flyer is the perfect metaphor for you as the bat mitzvah today. Because just as the flyer depends on the foundation of people below, but it's thrown up and has an experience that no one else has, but then returns, and when she returns, has done something that benefits the entire team, I feel like the same thing's true of your bat mitzvah today. You stand on the shoulders of grandparents and parents who literally have uplifted you so that you can see a life and a world and a future that we can only imagine. And when we look through the prism of your eyes in this moment, when we of your grandparents and parents' generation do that, we see something no less than our immortality. We see something no less than the destiny and the future of the Jewish people. For everything that you've achieved to reach this day, and again, looking through the prism of this day into many days ahead, God willing. I now will share with you the Birkat Kochanim, the ancient priestly benediction for peace and well-being. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May Adonai bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May Adonai's shining face look upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May Adonai's shining face look upon you and grant you, those you love in this troubled world, lives filled with peace, and let us say, Amen.
Morgan, I want to start by telling you that I love you. I loved you fully and completely from the moment you were born, and even before that. And there's nothing you could ever do that would make me love you any more or any less. But today, I am especially proud of you. You worked really hard for this day, and you really did amazing. You were spectacular. But more than that, I'm proud of the young woman you've become. You're loving and compassionate, sweet and very sassy, smart and hardworking, extremely intuitive and fearless. A breath of fresh air. The one I fell in love with 13 years ago. The baby that was literally attached to my hip, never wanting to be put down. The toddler who clung to my leg, begging me not to leave her at preschool. To the girl who never sits still, always running around the house, tumbling, jumping, one leg in the air, two legs in the air, all while talking a million miles a minute. To the teenager who loves her phone a little too much. I said that you were loving, and I said that you were compassionate. Recently, we went to Salt Lake City for a competition for cheer. There was a special needs girl on the plane, and she was talking to you, and you were goofing around together. The word poop came up way too many times. But you didn't see her as a girl with special needs. You saw her as a fellow athlete and a friend, and you continued to hang out with her the entire competition. During the competition, her mom came up to me, and she told me what a sweet and caring girl you were, and told me how special you made your daughter feel. And you always look beyond the outside and always see the inner good in everyone you meet. And that love and compassion, it doesn't end with humans. You have a heart of gold when it comes to animals. And not just Naga and Porter, your own dogs, but every dog and cat you meet, and especially the dog and cats at the Saddle Humane Society, a place we go visit very often. I also said that you were sweet and sassy. Wednesday night, you were talking in the kitchen to one of your friends from school on FaceTime. Your friend said, Morgan, no matter what you do, you are always the teacher's favorite. So I asked the friend, why is Morgan the favorite? And she responded, because Morgan always makes people smile. I also said you were extremely intuitive. Without me ever saying a word, you know when I'm having a great day, and you genuinely are excited to celebrate with me. And without me ever saying a word, you know when I need an extra hug. When you were a baby, I made up a theme song about you. And whenever I would sing it to you, you would smile that beautiful smile of yours. And here's how it went. Morgie moo, there is nothing you can't do. Morgie moo, oh, we love you. So that theme song, it fits you perfectly today. Morgan, you're caring, hardworking, sweet and loving, a true heart of gold, and there's nothing you can't do. And no matter where life takes you, we're going to always love you.
Good job, Morgan.
Thanks.
You were awesome. I've never seen you nervous before. But don't worry, I won't sing, so you can relax a little bit. So I had a really hard time coming up with this speech because there's so many quirky and funny things and stories I could share about you. It was hard to pick a place to start, so how about the beginning? You were born Cinco de Mayo, 2006. You arrived a few weeks early, capping off a very difficult pregnancy. We weren't sure if you would be able to breathe when you were born or if you would have any other issues. Then out you came. At 5 pounds, 4 ounces, you were the size of my hand, literally. You were the tiniest little thing I've ever seen in my life. But you were also really feisty, and you had the sweetest little cry. And from that moment, I knew that you had a special spirit, and I see that spirit in you every day. First, you either loved completely or not at all. For years, your mom and I had tried to get you involved in different team sports, and you quickly dropped each one. We thought you had a little bit of a problem with follow-through, until you tried cheer and fell 100% in love. The passion and dedication you have for cheer is really inspiring, and it's evident to everyone that watches you compete. Your compassion for people is extraordinary. Seeing someone suffer or seeing someone treated unfairly brings you to tears and drives you to action. While you may not know this, your example inspires me to approach people with more empathy and understanding, for which I'm grateful to you. At the same time, your sarcasm, wit, and humor are beyond what I would expect for someone your age. I remember one year when we were on vacation. I was playing beach volleyball. I think you were 11, but you looked more like 4. So I was playing beach volleyball when you walked by, and without missing a beat, you said, "Dad, you suck." Now, everyone I was playing with was kind of shocked by that comment. But I looked at you and I yelled back, "I love you, Morgan." You had the biggest smile on your face from that exchange. One of our many nicknames for you is the Energizer Bunny, because you just never stop and never run out of energy. Whether at home or at school or at cheer practice, you're always in motion. Whether it's crazy acrobatics that you do, or accidentally kicking yourself in the head while you do them, or talking a million miles an hour, you just never stop and never get tired. There is one small exception to this rule, however. That exception is that for the past 13 years, I've physically carried you everywhere we've gone. Morgan, we've hiked through the rainforest of the Olympic Peninsula together as you slept on my shoulders and drooled on my forehead. We've explored the beaches and streets of Playa del Carmen, one time for hours on New Year's Eve while you slept in my arms. We braved the surf in Costa Rica as we made our way past the breakers with you in my arms. I've carried you through the streets of Bangkok and the jungles of northern Thailand, not to mention the countless trips upstairs to your room from the car to the couch. I have to tell you, I've loved every minute of it. In reality, you lift me up as much as I do you. It's our special time together, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. This is the part of the story where everyone expects me to say that I miss our joint ventures, but I don't, because they still happen, frequently. But sadly, one day soon, they will have to come to an end. After all, an old guy walking around carrying a 20-year-old woman might look a little weird. As you transition into adulthood, I am amazed at the brilliant, caring, hilarious person you've become. Undoubtedly, I deserve all the credit. I know you'll continue to make the world a better place as you continue to share your smile, warmth, and kindness with everyone you meet. I look forward to our adventures together and look forward to watching you continue to make the world a better place. Your compassion, warmth, sense of humor, and creativity will open many doors for you. I may not be able to carry you through all those doors, but I am excited to watch you walk through them. I love you.
We join in our people's prayer of thanksgiving, the Shechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lahazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has kept us alive and sustained us and enabled us to reach this day of celebration. And let us say, Amen. You guys can go back. Thank you. But not you, Morgan. Over there's a bag. And in that bag, that bat mitzvah swag bag, are some very important things. First, a Tanakh, a copy of the Hebrew Scriptures, and a Kiddush cup, both of which we hope will have honored places in your homes in the future. From the Galanti family, a family within our congregation, membership and information in Arts of World Union, the Reform Movement's education and advocacy organization in Israel and around the world. From our Tedzi youth group, a gift certificate to be placed toward an 8th grade trip to Los Angeles, which all our 8th graders take. And from the Alexander Muss High School in Israel program, gift certificate toward a high school trip to Israel. May all of the people, places, and ideas which you studied to reach this day come alive for you as you walk in the footsteps of our ancestors and our people's promised land, God willing, in a more tranquil time. Congratulations, Mazal Tov. You can go back to your seat, but you're going to stand by your seat because I'm going to ask everyone else to please rise. And I'd like to ask cousins Eddie Pearl, Alita Lasden, and John Gray to come up and help me to open and close the Aron HaKodesh, the Ark. On page 256, Yalu et Shem Adonai ki niskav shemo levadav, let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted.
Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomchea meushar derachea darchei noam v'chol netivotea shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh
Aleinu, bottom of page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, Umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad Ushemo, echad.
Morgan, many families have powerful symbols that help to bind the generations together. For some families, it's a Kiddush cup or a tallis. For your family, it seems to be kugel. And you clearly have a very high bar to meet in terms of that kugel recipe if you're going to be known for it like those Balabuster women who came before you. So, but those kinds of symbols remind us of the inextricable bonds between the generations, bonds that transcend even the bounds of death. And at this point in the service, we bring to mind members of your family, Morgan, who are no longer with us, and we do so not to open up old wounds of grief, but rather to amplify our sense of appreciation for what we're experiencing here today. Because everything that they've done, things you knew about and things you'll never know about, have enabled you to become who and what you are today. We link memories of members of Morgan's family to those within this congregation. As my hand goes by, if you wish to share the name of someone for whom you are remembering them at this ceremony, if you wish to share it out loud, please do so. Zichronam levracha, may their memories be for blessing. I'd like to first ask those who are in mourning or observing a yard site to please rise amongst us. If the rest of us can join with them in sympathy and in support, as on page 294, we affirm our faith in the living God in the words of the Kaddish Tome, the mourner's Kaddish prayer. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma tivrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon uvyamechon uvchaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevorach le'alam olamei lamaya, yitborach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei l'kudesha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and bring comfort to all who are bereaved amongst us, and let us say amen. Please be seated. A hearty mazel tov again. Morgan, Robin, Peter, Justin, grandparents, friends, and distant family. Just a brief word. Robin, as I mentioned to you before, it just seems like yesterday that you and Peter came to my office to talk about a transition in your life, coming from one temple community to another, and we are so deeply appreciative of the fact that you have joined our community. You have already, through your energy and your connection and your wonderful network within this community, you've already found a home for yourself and have really provided such a wonderful additional element and additional sense of energy and connection. And we are so grateful. Thank you. We also are immensely grateful to our artist in residence, Chava Morel, who graces and amplifies so many of our worship and musical experiences. And in particular, Chava had a wonderful connection with this family, with Morgan, when she was very little, either at Herzl or JCC or a combination of both. And so it was quite auspicious that she was here to join this rite of passage moment for Morgan. Our closing ceremony is that of Havdalah on page 308 and following. I'd like to ask Morgan's BB Camp friends to please join us behind this table. I'm going to ask Justin to come up as well, because I need someone brave to hold the Havdalah candle. So please come forward. Havdalah literally means separation. We human beings are hardwired to see the world often in a binary way, light and darkness, good and right and wrong, what is holy and what is merely ordinary. And so just as we welcome the Sabbath on Friday evening with blessings over ritual objects, so too do we end the Sabbath on Saturday evening with blessings over ritual objects during this ceremony of separation. Wine is a symbol of joy and God's creative power, both of which are abundantly present here this evening. The spices that I think, Morgan, are you holding them? When we smell them, we take a bit of the sweetness of the Sabbath with us into the coming week. And finally, Justin is bravely sacrificing his hand and holding the Havdalah candle, the intertwined candle used only for this ceremony. It can be interpreted so many ways, but I am partial to the sense that it reminds us that though we Jewish people are scattered across the four corners of the earth, we are bound together by a common history, a common purpose, and a common destiny. There is a melody that encompasses the brachot, the blessings on page 308 and following. Please join with Chava and me. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. And over the pine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Borei pri agafen. Everyone knows this part. Come on. And over the spices. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Borei minei besamim. Your favorite part, la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. And over the candle, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech Borei ha'esh. Ya la la. And over the separation. Baruch
Hamavdil ben kodesh lecho. Hamavdil ben kodesh lecho. Justin. Yes, dip it in real fast, real fast, real fast. Hamavdil ben kodesh lecho. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la la. Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. And we conclude with the melody about Eliyahu Navi, Elijah the prophet. For Christians and for Jews, Elijah is the herald of the Messianic time, that time in the future of peace, justice, goodness, and blessing. But for Jews, because the Sabbath gives us a foretaste of that Messianic time, we conclude the Sabbath singing about Eliyahu Navi, hoping he will come speedily and in our day and make every day feel like Shabbat. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimheira veyamenu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. Morgan, come over to this side real quick before we go off to our wonderful celebration. We join together in Motzi, a blessing not only over our material well-being and abundance, but also our wealth of friends, family, and community. Together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Adonai shmor tzeitecha v'uecha l'chaim u'l'shalom me'ata v'yad olam. May God guard your coming out and your going in unto life and peace, from this day forth and forevermore. And let us say, turn to the person next to you, wish them a hearty Shavua Tov. Hey.
Put it in your pants and run.